So, unfortunately, college is really, really expensive. And there's no other way to put it besides the fact that we need financial aid, we need grants, we need loans, and we need scholarships. That is how you pay for college. So, in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about how you apply for scholarships. The process that basically I did and didn't really perfect until after college when I had to help my sister and her friends for scholarships. And so, I hope this video helps anybody and everybody because honestly, I wouldn't be here today with no student loans if it wasn't for my dedication and for basically just really wanting my dream. So I hope this video helps everybody. A little bit about me. My name is Cecile. I went to college at UT Austin, graduated class of 2022, and I had a full ride scholarship, or more accurately, I had a lot of little scholarships that were able to pay for all 4 years of tuition. I had a lot of help, and although I was really insecure to ask for help, I still asked for help. It's very important to know that everybody asks for help. Everybody needs help. No one is perfect, and no one has their problems solved in the blink of an eye. So I hope this video helps everybody who is interested in applying for scholarships because the process can be kind of daunting. So let's get into it. So, what are scholarships? A lot of people, unfortunately, from low income communities like myself, don't understand that people give out free money. There's always a catch, right? But this time it's a little different. With loans, you have things called interest. With grants, it's basically based on how much money your parents make. So the government helps you by saying, "Oh, we realize that your parents can't help you financially, so we will provide it with like tax dollars and stuff like that to help you out," which is great, and you don't have to pay that back either. But scholarships are a little different because you get grants by applying to the FAFSA, and you get loans by applying to the FAFSA, and then there's like additional processes to get more loans just because you have to like make an account and all sorts of stuff. But with the scholarships, you have to look for them on Google. I would usually recommend, as you'll see in the video, like counselors and looking them on Google and stuff like that. However, scholarships are these list of requirements of your grades, your after school activities, if you have any volunteer experience, any job experience, and a couple of essays or an essay or a video essay or even art. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity for a lot of people. Unfortunately, I am not an artist, but I had so many opportunities that I applied for that really helped me out. And again, I'll get more into it in this video because I want people to understand that scholarships are money that you do not have to pay back. You apply for them just like anything else. Give them the evidence of your grades, your extracurricular. Sometimes it even asks for letters of recommendation. And again, you don't have to pay it back. Sometimes they do have contracts to say, like, oh, if we give you $1,000 every year of college for 4 years, you have to maintain a college GPA, a college grade of a B plus. And that's perfectly reasonable. Again, it just depends on every scholarship. Every one of them is different. So, as I was saying, that scholarships is money that you don't have to pay back. There are many ways to look for some. Unfortunately, when you see big national scholarships like the Coca Cola Scholarship, the National Hispanic Heritage Scholarship, the Bill Gates Scholarship, they are national. They are at a national level, so you are not competing with just the people who applied at your school. You are competing against the whole US, and that can be kind of hard to understand. Therefore, I always recommend applying to the small scholarships that are just $500, $1,000, in addition to the big scholarships. I forgot to mention earlier that you can apply to scholarships as soon as you're a freshman in high school, but there's even scholarships for elementary level, middle school level, and high school level. And even in college, there's still scholarship opportunities. However, it's your responsibility to make sure that you apply for only the ones that are in your city. So if you live in Houston and you want to apply for scholarships, of course, apply for the Coca Cola Scholarship, apply for the National Hispanic Heritage Scholarship, but also apply to any scholarships that is for Houston County only. That would be really, really beneficial to you. You can even apply or ask for scholarships at your church or maybe the one at your soccer program, or maybe at the ones for any sports that you're in, or choir, or anything of that matter. You can apply for those scholarships. And applying to the local scholarships is a lot more beneficial, uh, because there's only like one coffee shop in my hometown that actually offers a scholarship, and a lot of people don't know about it. So, like, that could actually help you in that way. You never know what there are opportunities. You never know who you can talk to. But even then, like those little local places, I was able to win those scholarships, um, and it was just a lot easier. And a lot of people don't apply for the little scholarships of little money or the ones that are local because they don't ask questions to see if there are any one of them that are local. And then they think, oh, I don't want to work hard and apply to like 10 scholarships that are $500 each. I would rather just try once for the big national scholarship and only be disappointed for that one scholarship, even though it possibly could pay all of my tuition. Like, I understand the thought process of applying only once to that big scholarship and hoping that it can play for all your college years. However, you're up against a lot of people, and I always say that local scholarships in addition to national scholarships is the best combination for when looking for and financing your college education. So, in order to apply to local scholarships and national scholarships and see what scholarships apply for you, you really have to break down as to what makes you unique. I always made a list in addition to putting scholarships on my calendar and making sure like the due dates and stuff for Google Calendar. I broke it down that way because that helped me keep track. But not to mention, too, I made a Google Doc as to the things that make me unique. One of the important things is race, your gender, also if you're low income or not, if you grew up being a single mom or if you have a single mom, if you have immigrant parents, if you're first generation college student, if you're first generation US citizen in your family, if you have glasses, if you have eczema, if you have some type of dental problem, if you want to pursue psychology or business or being a doctor, being a pediatrician, biology, all these types of things, even music. There are scholarships for any type of unique identity marker for you. And I think that was something that was so important to me because honestly, I just never thought that I could apply to scholarships. I didn't think that money was just going to fall from the sky. And so the more requirements that there are for those things, the better for you. Of course, your GPA does help, and it helps tremendously. If you did a lot of volunteer hours, or if you got a job, or if you were in band, all those things really do help. But not to mention, too, what makes you you. Besides all the things that you do, what makes you you? What makes your identity a little different than everybody else's? And so I think that is something that can really help sometimes with your scholarship essay or even just your level of experiences of creativity, because sometimes those essays that require them to know, like being a single mom, what impact or what ways did it make you see the world a little differently. And so I really like those, especially because I'm a dedicated community member and I believe that everyone's story is so important and there are experiences that unfortunately not every community member has faced. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to ride the bus, and there's even bus advocation scholarships for people out there. And I love the bus. I am a whole girly for the bus. So I was more than happy to write that essay, and that is something that people don't understand. There's a lot of things that make you unique. Even if you're in color guard, soccer, it is not just something that you just pass away. You do not have to pursue choir or pursue soccer in college, but it's just something that makes you unique that allows you to qualify for certain scholarships. So, as I was saying, the different types of process and the requirements of the scholarships and looking for these scholarships, the best way to keep track of it is actually using a planner. I know some of us, unfortunately, don't have that habit in high school of using a planner, managing your time, and making sure that you finish every piece like a couple of weeks, like take it little bit by little bit. Like, unfortunately, a lot of us have procrastination, do it the night before, but scholarships are not like that. You have to ask for letters of recommendation from your teachers, your coaches, your volunteer leaders, your mentors, and that takes time because they're not just writing your letter of recommendation, they're also writing other students. They also have grades to put in, they also have events to put on. So make sure to ask for those within as soon as possible. I gave them at least a month. Like I gave them 3 weeks, but I personally would be like, "Oh, I found this scholarship that's due in October and right now it's June. Okay, what I'm going to do is that as soon as school starts, I'm going to ask my sophomore teacher from history to write me a letter of recommendation because we really connected, we were together, we were this." And that's something that takes time. Another thing too is you have to ask for transcripts, which is the records of where your GPA is and your grades. And with those transcripts and grades, like it takes time to process it from the transcript office. It takes at least, for my school, it took 2 weeks. So whenever I like requested one, I requested at least 10 because it takes a long time and you need them for any scholarship. The other thing is too, you have to take into account how long it's going to take you to write an essay while still managing school, while still taking care of your responsibilities at home. That's the problem. That's another part of the problem. And of course, it is a big thing and it is such a tedious task, but it's honestly worth it. You don't think about it as in you investing time to get certain scholarships. One of the scholarships that I applied for and that I got was $5,000. And I had to write an essay, get transcripts, get 2 letters of recommendation, and a couple of volunteer hours. In total, let's say it took like 3 hours to put it all together, and not to mention maybe another 3 hours for, I don't know, writing my essay and correcting it and doing all that stuff. That was 6 hours, and I got $5,000. So with you doing the math, obviously that was at least $1,000 per hour, or a little bit close to that. And so it's very important for you to know the cost benefits of it. It's so important for you to know those things and managing your time with it. So I hope people can understand that it's not an overnight procrastination type of thing you can finish. It takes time, and it's okay because, again, you have to reassure yourself that nobody knows everything. Everybody asks for help, and it's okay if you ask for help. It takes time to write these, it's an investment of your time. So, I know I talked a lot about keeping yourself organized for the scholarships. I sprinkled in a little bit here and there as to some tips, but generally, please write down all the scholarships you qualify for, their requirements, and the due date on a Google Doc. It could be on Google, it can be on a notebook, but please, please write it down. Once you have a certain amount, I had to find at least 30. I then organized them by due date, and then I organized them by needs because some of them will say the scholarship essay must be at least 2,000 words or must be this, must be that. So that is some ways you can organize it. Then you do have to write a calendar. You do have to break down the assignments down to their basic needs. So let's say I found out about a scholarship, all of my 30 scholarships on a Saturday, I would need 10 transcripts. So on Monday, I would ask for 20 transcripts for future ones. And then I also asked for letters of recommendation. Even though the scholarships were going to be due in 2 months, I told my teachers 3 weeks so that it can be easier if they needed more time. Not to mention, too, you can see what level your teachers know you because, unfortunately, since teachers have a lot of students, sometimes they won't really know you at a personal level besides them having you in your class. They won't know your goals and aspirations, and it can be a little tricky with that. But always have at least 3 or 4 teachers to ask for letters of recommendations, or 3 or 4 adults like your volunteer, the volunteer org you're in, the church you're part of, the mentor that is helping you be something, just something along those lines. Again, once you break down all of those requirements and kind of have like a little checklist, make sure to say in your calendar, pick up transcripts on so and so date, or check in on letters of recommendation on so and so date, just so it can be easier for you. You do have to print out the scholarship that you're referring to. Make sure to put the website on that Google Doc or on that Google Calendar invite or just something, because you will lose it. Unfortunately, because some things just get so popularized or because the deadline had passed, they completely change the website and the URL. And so it's really, really important for you to know how to do that. Not to mention, too, every scholarship essay that you write or every video essay that you outline, please, please, please make sure to keep it somewhere. Save it. Save it so that when you may need to use it again for another scholarship, or maybe you need to be inspired to write another type of scholarship essay, you have something to refer back to. Not to mention, too, it's easier to write it online, but obviously I'm a paper and pen person, so I would write the outline on paper, the ugly draft on paper, so that I can give it to different people that really knew what they were talking about and knew what they were doing. You can even ask your English teacher or some scholarship programs out there, or the TRIO college program or first generation college student program at your high school, at your local church, or wherever. Just make sure that you get it back. If I were you, I would set a particular date to meet with these people so that they can edit everything right in front of you, and you can answer any questions that they may have so that you can effectively communicate what you want to do. Since you are asking for help, again, print out the scholarship opportunity so that they know what they are looking for, because maybe you wrote a really great scholarship essay, but you're not answering the question itself. Or maybe you wrote a really great scholarship essay, but again, you sound like this scholarship isn't for you, because some scholarships will require, like, oh, you must study business or you must study psychology and become a psychiatrist or must be a future teacher, and you write about being a philosopher, being a marine biologist. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's again not particularly what they're looking for. And some scholarships, they know that you're too young to know, but they still want to know that you have goals and aspirations. And maybe that's not being communicated effectively on your essay. So make sure to have someone help you. It's okay to ask for help. Again, 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 it is okay to ask for help. This whole process is about making sure you achieve your dreams, and I believe you can. That is all that I have for you guys. And honestly, there's more stuff I can talk about, but comment anything that you want to know or any questions that you had about college, about high school, about post grad life, or applying to masters, like anything. I'm here to help you, and I'm so glad that you guys are watching my channel. Click the follow button, follow me on all social medias, and I hope you have a nice day. Thank you so much. Bye.